Hi, I'm Victoria, but you can call me Vikki, and welcome to Vikki's Bookish Mind. So since this is my first video, I thought to do a Q&A as the best way for you to get to know me and the type of books I love to read, from romantasy to romance to philosophy and dystopian reads. So that's what this video is going to be about, as like an introduction to you and for me to YouTube. So stay tuned. The first question is, what kind of books do I read the most? So I read mostly romance, romantasy, thriller, a little bit of horror, not a lot, but a little bit. I'm trying to get into more like philosophical books, more law books and more like dystopian books, because I like watching like TV shows and movies about them. So I'm like, why not try to read about them? Because as we all know, books are more detailed and more like, they have more depth to it. Sometimes movies do too, but you understand what I mean. So yeah, those are the type of books I like to read. Romance, romantasy, mostly. Why did I start this channel? I started this channel because, one, I'm on a gap year right now and I'm bored. I'm not doing anything except reading, watching movies and shows and listening to music mostly. So I mean, I do some academic stuff here and there, but it's mostly reading. So I just thought, why not start a channel and basically document it. Actually, I was supposed to start this channel last year in 2025, but I just kept getting lazy. I was like, okay, I'm gonna record it, I'm gonna record, and I never recorded. And I just kept reading. So it's like, no, this year I'm gonna do it. So here I am. So that's why I started this channel, and so far it's not too bad. What was the book that changed how I think? Back when I was in high school, like last year, I had this philosophy class that actually like did something. It was a good class, and I learned a lot. Like, not just learning because I'm a science person, like I'm trying to go into the medical field, but I learned how to actually think, if you understand what I'm saying. It was very insightful and intriguing, and I still think about it to this day. And then I had an English class where I read Oedipus Rex, I read Hamlet, and I read Into the Wild. And those three books, like, they really brought it all together for me. So ever since then, I've been trying to get into more of those type of books, like Socrates, Aristotle, people like that, Tolstoy, people like that. So that's how I started to think differently. That's the story of how I got to that point. What's my favorite romance trope? My favorite romance tropes are enemies to lovers, fake dating, if done right, and marriage of convenience, if done right. Honestly, all three, if done right, because sometimes they're not done right. So, but those three, top. I don't think anything could beat them. Those are my three favorite romance tropes. And when I start making other videos, I might not speak on them too much, but I will, but not too much, because I'm trying to get into other genres, you know, expand my palette and all that. Am I more of a feelings reader or a thinking reader? I will say both, because it depends on my mood and it depends on what type of book I'm reading. My mood, because sometimes you just want to read a book for the vibes, you know. Sometimes you don't even want to think, you just want to feel the book, you know. But sometimes you're like, this plot makes no sense whatsoever. And also sometimes when you're reading for the vibes, you start to think too much because it just doesn't make sense. The plot's not making sense, the world building's not making sense, the romance not making sense, like a lot of stuff going on but not making sense. So I will say both, because sometimes you just want the vibe, sometimes you want to think about the book. and that's why I'm kind of trying to get into more philosophical books because they really help you think. What genres do you want to read more of this year? I talked about that already. Philosophy, law, dystopian, more romantasy, and then maybe historical romance. I told myself I was gonna get into it last year, but I didn't. I don't know why, but I didn't. So this year, hopefully, I will try to get into historical. I feel like the problem is once I get into it, I would like DNF it so fast because it's not my vibe. So I feel it has to come at the right time, and then I would like it, you know? Like some books just come at the right time, some movies, some shows just come at the right time. So I think it has to just come at the right time when I really need to read it. What kind of content will I be posting here? I will say I'll be posting reviews. I will be posting recommendations, honest reviews, not just reviews, reading vlogs. Those are the things I will be posting. For honest reviews, I know everyone says that, oh, I'm gonna be so honest, but sometimes it just feels like they're trying to sell me a book. But I actually be honest. I will actually be honest with you because there were some books that I have read like in the past year that were not it. But I go on TikTok, I go on YouTube, everyone is raving about it. So I don't know. My taste might be different. Not really, I don't think so because I enjoy all types of books. Except sometimes. But I don't know, we'll see. But so far, one unpopular bookish opinion. It's kind of like a trend. Maybe not right now, but it was a trend a little bit ago. People were talking about spice in books. Yeah, not for me. I can understand why people like it, but personally, it just, most of the time it doesn't add anything to the book. And when it does, and it's done properly, okay, I can accept it. But a lot of the time it's just there for, here, have it, here, take it, here, just throw it in there, you know? So I prefer when books have more depth to them than just spice. So I don't know, that's just me. But if you enjoyed this Q&A, feel free to subscribe and leave a comment, or if any questions you want to ask me in the future, or you want me to answer in the future, or tell me your favorite genre. I'd love to talk books with you. Okay, thank you for watching this video again, and hopefully you made it to the end. So thank you, and leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week for another video. Bye.